said the only constant is change in college football, but over more than 150 years, there have been some things that you can count on. If you can run the football, you have a chance to win. And boy, do we have guys who can do that in this one. Welcome to Husky Stadium, home of the Washington Huskies. As we'll see the number 20 team in the country, the Nebraska Cornhuskers, taking on another team from the Big Ten, the Washington Huskies. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollack with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. And the Huskers will kick it away to start us off. Looks as if the returner will try and field this one. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So Washington's offense takes the field for the first time today. And they are coming off a sensational performance led by this quarterback who's hoping he can build on things, Jesse.
Well, I know, having played the position, when you have a big game, you just can't wait to get back out there again and build on that performance. David, last time out, he was making the right reads. He showed off his arm talent. He had this offense moving up and down the field and finding the end zone. And you know he's excited to take on this defense today.
Yeah, and talking to the defense.
And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10. Just making life miserable for opposing quarterbacks the way Trev Alberts always did.
Yeah, just finding a guy that can sniff out the quarterback and kind of feel it, have those instincts. You could tell he saw it, went and got it, just like your boy Trev Alberts, Reese.
To the air, it's Boley. Finds a tight end. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
Nice catch by the big target. Those big tight ends, you can tell in football, are just becoming more and more of a weapon on every single team.
Now the play fake. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Oh, he dropped it, and what a missed opportunity early in this football game. The Huskies will be forced to boot it away. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. First one's on its way. The leg ought to be strong. Only called on twice in the victory last week. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. The Cornhuskers offense will try to get something started with their first possession. And are we ever lucky to see these two great quarterbacks in action here today? And Jesse, it won't be long before we'll see them squaring off on Sundays.
Yeah, these guys can both stress a defense for similar reasons, and we've seen it all year long, right? Both guys have tremendous arm talent, and both guys can hurt you running the football as well. So these defenses are really going to have to be careful with how they try and defend these two quarterbacks. David, this one could come down to which guy has the ball last.
Yeah, which is really, really cool. A big showdown. They know what's on the line. Man, these are two huge names, you know, brand versus brand, big-time baller versus big-time baller, trying to come out on top. Yeah, defenses, I feel bad for them today. That's not what this is about. This is about the QBs.
Well, you can tell those two have been practicing the out route all off-season long. They look like they could have completed that in their sleep.
Looking to throw on first down. Quickly complete. Finds a crease at the 20. And he's brought down after a nice gain. The Huskers getting set on 1st and 10. To the air on first down. Grabbed in the middle, it's Haynes. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. Quarterback keeper. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here. This offense trying to quieten the crowd on 1st and goal, and they are not cooperating. from the gun. Knew where he wanted to go with it, but couldn't find his target. It's incomplete.
And how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved, and I'm on defense because it messes with the snap count, it messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
Looking to get it in. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Huskers! Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. They made sure that good field position paid off, going 45 yards. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. On the move from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. They went 3 and out on their first possession, now to see if they can be more productive this time around. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. To the air, it's Boley. Moving out of the pocket. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the big hit.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats. But when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
Takes the handoff. It's Valentine. They've got it out to the 34 after getting 5 there.
That's a really good-looking run, too. And when you think back to Washington football, we talk a lot about the quarterbacks they've had, these great aerial assaults, but they've always needed to have balance as well. You get that by running the football, and this guy really helps keep defenses honest because they don't know what's coming at them. With a weapon like him in the backfield, he really makes this offense go.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
They'll send the back in motion. Going to swing it on second down. Grabbed behind the line. It's Valentine.
Love the play by the defense. They just did a good job understanding where the running back was on that play. After the catch, they're able to make the tackle right away, and now they've set up third down.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Makes the grab. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Washington sends out the punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Just needs a crack to get a return. He only needs a sliver of daylight. He did a great job finding some running room on that return and was able to set up the offense with good field position. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. They go to the ground. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
They'll give it to Johnson. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
A lot of times with these RPOs, you see linebackers so slow, they don't want to mess up. Not on this one. Watch the defense attack downhill, go get the running back, get a tackle for a loss.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. It's complete. And he'll be tackled, but there is a flag on the field.
Hold.
A very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work. You can feel and hear the purple rain all the way across Lake Washington. Third down coming. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. He'll take a deep shot here. Fires and picked off. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
It's not the end of the world. Bear with me. There is nothing worse than watching wide receivers run those little under routes, and I throw the football, and I'm 10 yards short. You got to push the ball down the field if you're going to get the first down. And guess what? You threw an interception, so be it. You made the tackle, no big deal. It's kind of like a punt.
Well, just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Back to throw. It's Boley. That's caught. It's Harris. He goes out of bounds, maybe a step shy of the 40. They're going to mark it at the 39, and a really nice pickup there.
And those aren't the guys I'm leaving open on defense. These slot wide receivers, they've got the space in the middle of the field to work. I got to make sure that I got somebody inside of him. I got somebody outside of him. I can't give him the football because a lot of times these guys, they're good with it after the catch. They got that quickness.
And he's still running after the move. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
It was so important this offense was able to find a way to get in the rhythm, and the running game is now helping that. 2 straight punts on their previous 2 drives. This drive, though, they're having a little bit more success. Big reason why is this running back. He's been able to...
And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
And I love playing man coverage on the back end, giving those receivers faces. Don't let them feel comfortable and run zone where they can find all these holes in the zone, and my rush can't get home. Pressure them. Pressure them, pressure them.
And the Huskies now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Looking to fire. Pulls it in. It's Williams. And after the tackle, that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking for a deep man. And the pass is incomplete, and that wraps up the first quarter. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. We've come to the end of the quarter, and Nebraska is on top. Guys, let's have a look at the stats as we've played one period. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the second quarter. The Huskies will be forced to boot it away. Probably not quite as good as he hoped as it goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. They've seen the good and the bad already. A touchdown on the opening drive, a pick on the second one, and now to try to get things back on track. They've got the big fellas out there, a 3 tight end look on 1st and 10. He got a little antsy at the line of scrimmage, and they'll move him back.
False start of offense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. The handoff to Johnson. How about that defense getting back there? He'll lose a couple.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
The Cornhuskers trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Fakes to grab. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
And quarterback dropping back, understanding I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the first down.
He wants to change this route. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. And it's incomplete despite some serious arm strength shown there.
Well, the good news is he did a nice job reading the coverage. He knew exactly where to go with the football that time. Just a little bit too much on that pass. You wonder if that's just nerves. He's got to settle himself down a little bit.
Gets his first one of the day away, and that matches his total from that victory last week. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. They've gotten very little done on their first 3 possessions, hoping this one will be more productive. That's caught. It's Valentine.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense, catching the football.
So now it's 2nd and long. They're going to run it. Got the first down and more. Turns on the Jets. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Huskies.
And to have a rushing touchdown of that type of yardage, you've got to be able to make something miss. It's one thing to get into the 2nd level, but can you make that last defender miss? And you saw it on that play. Once he was in the clear, with his speed, he was gone.
Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. They didn't get much done the last time they had it, and to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. They'll try the run. Breaks into the open. It's a fumble. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
You know, oftentimes when you're playing in conditions like this and it's raining, you'll see a lot of the skill players offensively take off the gloves because they want to be able to feel the football. They think it gives them better control of it. And I don't know if that played into the football going on the ground there, but you know that ball security is going to be one of the biggest factors in this game moving forward.
We've got a timeout here as this coach is challenging the call. He wants to give the replay booth a chance to have another look. He spun that wheel of fortune by challenging the call, and it does not go his way, and he loses the timeout. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. How big is this drive? Scored a touchdown the last time they had it. Defense got to stop, and now it's up to them in a tie game.
All right, so if you're the offensive coordinator here, let's dial it in. Who are your best matchups and best playmakers to take advantage of this golden opportunity?
Yeah, and I'm interested to see this defense, too. Like, the momentum is clearly not in your favor. How do you get it back? How do you make a big play? You be more aggressive here to try to get the football back to your offense.
He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down. Washington will snap it in the red zone. Handoff from the gun.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Well, this is very interesting because now down here in the red zone, you know it's not going to be easy throwing it because the windows are small. Can they run the ball against the best run defense in the entire nation? This is as big a challenge as you're going to find offensively.
Scanning the field, it's Bowling. Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24.
Well, we talked to the offensive staff coming into this one. They knew going up against the top 25 defense with respect to sacks per game that they had to do a good job protecting the QB, but they have not been able to get that done so far. They've already now allowed 3 sacks in this game.
Now on 4th down, they'll try to come away with 3. And he'll need a little distance and to bend it just right. A 41-yarder from the left hash. Never a doubt. Right down the middle. And with that, they've taken the lead.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but, man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. They're still looking for a little more productivity as they trail 10-7. Here's the handoff. Still on his feet at the 35. All the way out to the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 15. They gave themselves room to operate with that first play. Now 1st down from the 37. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Unloads to the wideout. And they won't make the connection going for the big play. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
And I like the defense being aggressive. They heated up that RPO. They didn't even give them time to read it. I'm getting in the backfield right now, making a play, being aggressive, bringing the fight to the offense.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. They stop him right at the 40-yard line. It's 4th down. Will they bring out the punt team? They dumped it off and didn't quite get to the 1st down marker, but they've created a better situation on 4th down.
No doubt. And listen, you want to push the ball down the field. And I want to go throw it beyond the sticks and get the 1st down, but I think they made the right decision dumping it off. You'd like your running back to find a way to break an extra tackle and get that 1st down, but decision time now on 4th.
On 4th and 7, analytics, gut feel, or maybe just wanting to keep the offense out there. They'll go for it. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. And they gambled in their own end, turn it over on downs, and now the other offense is set up. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. This offense has it with really good field position. Looking to throw, it's Boley. Makes the grab.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
They'll go to the ground. Drag down, but they'll move the sticks for a 1st down. Guys, you never want to sound the upset alert bell too early, but might be time to at least know where the button is for it.
Know where the button is, and listen, there's no need to panic yet, but if you're the unranked team, just like this, when you're playing a better team, you want to come in and you want to hang around, Jesse, and they're doing just that, staying in this game and have a lead.
Yeah, the unranked team, they've been playing with more intensity in this one, and I think if you're a leader right now on the ranked squad, you've got to be talking to your guys and waking everybody up. This coaching staff is going to have to make some halftime adjustments, but they're going to have to give an earful to their guys to come out here in the second half and start making some plays.
The Huskies really need to keep this drive alive on 3rd down. To the ground to try to pick up the 1st. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Husky.
And how big is that for this offense? Put a nice drive together, get the touchdown, add to this lead already. Everything right now, Palmer, going their way.
Yeah, that was as good a 2-minute type situation as you could have offensively. And David, they've got so many weapons on this offense. They practice these situations all the time, and they put it to work here at the end of the first half.
And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. This late in the half, you're behind. You'd love to create something before the break to build momentum, Jesse.
But you've also also had some miscues on offense, a big part of why you're losing the game right now. I'd take it into halftime, make my adjustments, and come out ready in the second half.
Yeah, I'm going to take it into halftime too, but I'm trying to put some points up right here. Be aggressive, set the tone, be like, hey, listen, this is what you're going to get in the second half, so find something really quickly you can go to.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. They'll move the wide receiver. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Caught over the middle. It's Traore. He gets it down to the 30-yard line, and time is running short here in the first half. New set of downs after the completion. Wants to go up top on first down. Got it in the middle. It's Johnson. They bring him down, but it'll be first down at the 42. And the Huskers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on first down. Gonna let it fly. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. They get him on the ground late in the half. They have the first down at the 41.
Man, another mistake by this. Listen, he is an elite quarterback. He's really, really good. He's pressing too much. Jesse, the #1 job of a quarterback, you better protect the football. I don't care how good you are, you better protect it.
Yeah, you just got to take what the defense is giving you, and I agree, David. It looks like right now he's trying to force the big play instead of just checking it down or throwing away. He's got to do a better job working through his progressions right now. He's got tons of talent, but he's making bad decisions.
From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. One more play before the teams head to the locker rooms. Bully ball on 3rd and short. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Fellas, looks like we've got a great scene today in Seattle. And talk about a first half for the dude in that backfield. That coaching staff has been giving rave reviews on a weekly basis. And through 2 quarters today, he's been a complete game changer. He's breaking the will of this defense, and that's something that's just very tough to quantify. With that said, let's send it back to our guys inside Husky Stadium.
Thanks for that breakdown, Kevin. Washington ready to kick off to start this second half. Here's the return from inside his 10. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. Down 2 possessions to start this third quarter. They'd love to build some early momentum.
You ain't lying, because you only got so many possessions here in the second half, so now you're down. I got to maximize every single one. Put your best plays together. Start this drive off on a good note.
Yeah, it starts right here. Obviously, you can't get it all back on this drive, but you can create that momentum. You can create something special and some energy, but it's going to start with this offense here executing at a high level.
And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front. Man, oh man, the ball carrier was just shut down.
And I tell you what, they need some push up front too, right? They got to move those defensive linemen out of the way. At least create a hole so your running back has a chance. Not there, he didn't have it.
They'll snap it from the gun on 3rd down. Caught near the sticks, it's Bell. He steps out right at the 40-yard line, and now they are in business moving toward midfield. Grabbed in the backfield, it's Bell. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. Offense gets set for 2nd down. Wants to go up top. Snagged out of the air. He stopped at the 45 after picking up 10 yards and the first down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Huskers are moving quickly down the field. Looking downfield on first down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
Well, another incompletion, and you can see the frustration building, but you got to give the defense credit. They came into this one knowing no one was giving them a shot because of their record, because of what their stats are on paper, but they're playing better football. They're playing with better effort, and right now they're making the most plays.
They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. They just keep firing. And they weren't able to make the connection. They were looking for an explosive play.
You can sense the frustration building on the field and on the sideline for this team because on paper, they're the better team. From a player standpoint, from a record standpoint, things just not going their way in this game, and someone's going to have to step up and make a play to turn this thing around.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You could tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
They want to run this quarterback. They tried to go smash mouth on third and short, and it did not work against this defense. Facing this double-digit deficit here in the second half, almost a no-brainer to go for it on fourth down. Offense changing the play. On fourth down, going to the air. Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. And that decision will be questioned for a while. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. Makes the quick grab.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times they'll dance and make even bigger plays than they did here, but it was still a positive game.
And the Huskies can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
They'll try to bully their way for the first. He moves the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 33. Washington coming to the line with another first down.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
Backed up now. Here's second and long. To the ground with the back. And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup. Here on third down. Defense loves to show heat and try to confuse the quarterback. Back to throw. It's Bowman. Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30.
And how about the defense getting home with the pass rush? Playing man coverage in the back end. You need to win up front. Those guys got to get to the quarterback. Do a great job rushing the passer. I can play man when I got a pass rush like that.
And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. There have been a couple of missed opportunities for these offenses in the last couple of drives, Jesse.
And I think for this offense here, it'd be nice to hit an explosive play, be aggressive.
Turning it on! And they are finding some space in this defense. He's got it down to the 25. There's no need to panic or anything, but this would be a really opportune time to put something together and try to take control of this game.
And sometimes you just come out as the favorite, and you're a little bit flat, and you expect to win. And sometimes that leads to slow starts, but I think if they can get that passion, that adrenaline, they get a little fired up right here, I think they'll take care of business.
And they just got to make a play. They just got to get something positive to happen here, sort of wake them up, and then put another play back-to-back, and all of a sudden, they get that momentum going. We know they've got the dudes. They've got the studs on both sides of the ball to win this football game. It just needs to start with one spark.
They'll try to run for it. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 13. The Cornhuskers are moving quickly down the field. They'll give it to Johnson. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Another tough run for this offense. And I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off. But you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back in this one, they need him to break one off. And it just takes one play for this guy. Don't be...
And he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska! Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they finish it by firing one in from the 13 for the score. He'll return it. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. This drive will open from the 15. He'll keep it himself. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time. Offensively, the defense coming up with a huge negative play.
They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. He'll pull it on the read. And as they get him to the ground, clock running, looks as if time will expire here in the 3rd. We've reached a break. It's Washington holding the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. Here comes the 4th. Time to see who steps up, who makes the winning plays to take home that W. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. Back to pass, it's Bowman. Finds his big tight end. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the 1st down.
Well, nice completion there, finding the tight end. And what's so beautiful about that is while they didn't get the first, they were able to pick up enough yards now to make the 3rd down manageable. Really putting this offense in a good position.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Still on his feet at the 45. Finally forced out of bounds. Maybe a step shy of midfield. They'll mark it at the 49. Washington has it and a fresh set of downs. Give to the single back.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
Second down, they'll go to the air. Finds his man. It's Williams. Just carving up this defense and getting it down to the 24. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. This offense absolutely humming as they come to the line again. Using his legs, it's Valentine. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7.
Well, there's not a lot of mystery what you're going to do on offense at this point of the game. With the lead late, you're just going to lean on your star running back. This is a guy who is going to play on Sundays at the next level. Just keep giving him the football and just let him take this thing over.
Back to pass on 2nd down. He'll pull it down. And he scoots his way to the 1st down and then slides to avoid the hit.
And this is the frustration in playing man-to-man coverage. All the guys on your defense are chasing their guys. They don't have vision on the quarterback, but he is such a good athlete. He notices it. He takes off. He chews up yards and makes a big play.
And he's on his way. He'll go all the way. Touchdown, Husky.
And man, a lot of times late in games, you see offenses, they get very conservative, very predictable, and then they leave it in the hands of their defense. I like this execution, man. The offense continues to do what they do, and they take the 2-score lead in the 4th quarter, everything going in their direction.
He'll start the return inside his 5. He's got great speed. He's got an alley. Dynamic on kick returns, and that one puts his offense in business. Coming out on 1st down with the play fake. Throws to the wideout. Got him downfield. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the 1st down. And the Huskers racing to the line in the hurry-up. In the red area, it's Haynes. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Yeah, this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, or whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them, because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front 7 has dominated this entire game.
The Huskers will try to put one on the board on 1st and goal. Zings it complete to the right. He's all the way down to the 2-yard line. Just spectacular execution there. They'll try to power it in. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Cornhuskers.
This running back was not going to be denied. Nice blocking up front to create a hole for this running back, and he was able to take advantage.
And he made that extra point, the wet turf, no problem at all. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And finished the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. That last drive, an absolute aerial assault for the touchdown, Jesse.
But it was a nice job in play calling, too, David, just giving the quarterback some easy looks and reads so he could go out and execute.
And he knew exactly where to go with the football. Everything looked really, really easy. He was hot. The ball was coming out of his hands. The defense better do something different.
They'll probably bleed every second possible off this clock before they snap it. They'll run it. They want to take their time here. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's at the 25. Looking downfield, it's Foley. And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
What if I had told you this quarterback would be sacked at least 5 times in this game and yet still somehow would be winning? That's not normally how it works. You got to give the offense credit because even though they've suffered some serious negative plays, they've still been able to make some good things happen.
Washington sends out the punt team. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. And the punt team gets down there and gets the return man on the ground. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. First snap of this drive comes from their own 41. They cut into this lead the last time they had it, and now here in the fourth, a chance to move on top with a score. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection.
And I'm going to be really curious to watch this offense and see how much faith and trust they have in themselves and the weather, right? Like, it's passing situation, it's a 2-minute situation. You practice spreading this ball all over the field. Can you do that? Because this is not ideal weather, and you can't make a mistake here.
Defense just a little too eager, and that's 5 yards for the Oak. I'm sure the offense happy with that free 5 yards. Now it's 2nd and 5. Quarterback making adjustments. Back to pass. Got his man quickly. Smashes ahead. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41.
You know, in a 2-minute situation like this, you've got to find your best players on the field. When you've got one of the best wide receivers in the game, that's the guy that you need to be throwing to as often as possible in a 2-minute situation late trailer.
They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Quickly complete. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground covered to pick up the first. These fans stepping up to help this defense on 3rd down. They'll try to power their way ahead. They are on the move as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 28.
Well, the running back did a nice job there, keeping his feet moving. He was able to drag some defenders with him to get that first down.
The Cornhuskers kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. Looking to throw on 1st down. Got it in the middle. It's Ives. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. I wonder a lot of times why teams don't run this route more often. It's an impossible matchup for the defense.
Linebacker on running back. I'm going to lose that matchup a lot, but a nice job by the running back. Selling to the flats just enough to get that inside space to open up, make the catch, and start getting down the field.
Well, the quarterback off target on that one. And in this 2-minute situation, you've got to be able to call and run passing plays that you feel like you can run in your sleep.
Quarterback making checks. Right back to the air on 2nd and 10. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. They'll use a timeout with 26 seconds left on the clock. Make it impossible to communicate. From the gun, wants to pass. Snagged in the middle, it's Bell. And they'll stop him about 5 yards short of the first.
And I think the defense doing a really good job of understanding this is late in the game. It matters. Taking away the sidelines, taking away the middle of the field, making him kind of check the football down, go through his progressions, and make that clock tick.
They get the timeout call with 7 seconds left on the clock. And they are coming out for what will be a huge field goal attempt. Huge field goal attempt could tie the game, and he'll have to make it through ear-splitting noise.
And the late-game execution worked to perfection. Moving the ball down the field, getting your kicker in a spot. You know exactly where he likes to kick it from. He drives it through. We're tied up, and we're headed to overtime.
From inside the 10, here he comes. And the returner will be brought down. 4 quarters not enough to settle this one. We're headed to overtime.
And these teams have played so well, back and forth, evenly contested game. How about a little free football, Jesse?
Yeah, I love this, Dave. Free football. And finding out which of these two teams is the most mature. Who can settle down now with the game on the line and make the big play.
All right, guys, so here we go in overtime. And just to refresh everyone's memory, alternating possession starting on the opponent's 25.
And it's so nice to be on defense first, just to set the tone, to understand what you need. Try to hold them to a field goal. The offense knows they can do their job to go out and get a win. Just 2 possessions, Paul. We're like, you got to be at your best.
Yeah, and I love the new rules, too, because in the 3rd overtime possession, it goes to alternating 2-point plays. Back and forth. Who's got anything left in the tank here in OT?
We'll get it started here in overtime. Quick handoff. Blast his way ahead, but not much room. A pickup of 1 to the 24.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Now the connection takes it to the 11. Lots of good stuff on that play. You slow down the rush, you get a completion, and you move the chains.
And most importantly, you're right. You don't force a short yardage situation that you have to get. Nice job. Invite that rush up the field. Take advantage of the aggressiveness of the defense. Make the catch, make the run, get the first down.
Leaves it with the running back. Knocked down in the backfield, and boy, this guy's had a good day, but they finally get to him on that run.
Well, this guy's been an animal all game long. He's had tons of success running the football. The defense had to do something to stop him. Give the D-line and that front 7 tons of credit for being really physical there, getting the TFL.
On the run, it's Valentine. He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive.
Well, we know this defense is one that plays with a lot of pride, right? And part of that is their ability stopping the run. They're a top 25 unit in the nation when it comes to stopping the rush, and that really helps them out down here in the red zone. They're going to have to step up big time in this situation.
Into the end zone. Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there. They'll try to strike first with a field goal in overtime. Smashes it between the uprights. And guys, after the field goal, now they have the lead.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
Touchdown will win it. Let's see what they've got on first down. The give from the gun. Finds a little bit of room. Give him a couple down to the 23.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Wants to go up top. The throw to the outside is complete. Now the connection takes it to the 11.
Nice job there. Good timing between the QB and the wide receiver executing that out route.
And the Huskers have pushed it inside the 20. Might be calling a hot route. Looking to throw on first down. Makes the grab. He got it in, and the celebration is on. A walk-off touchdown in OT. Field shrinks, tight end grows. Big targets, big results.
I've never heard it put that way, but you're dang right. That guy is so big. A lot of times you get a DB matched up on him. He can just post him up. A linebacker, he can run by him. So that's why these tight ends are so dangerous down here in this red zone.